Appreciate all of you being here. My name's Kim Carver, and I really enjoyed the title that Jeff gave me earlier. I'm actually the Managing Director of Business Development, but there were some more executives and vice presidents and other things in his title he gave me earlier, so I appreciated that. I had the pleasure to work with a lot of the leaders in this area for about almost 5 years, and so this place has a special place in my heart. And what we've got for you today, a special treat, if you will. Once a year our company gets together and we have what we call an ILC, which stands for International Leadership Conference. It's where we talk about strategy, we make product launches and things like that for the upcoming year. What we've got prepared for you today is just kind of some, and I hate to say it this way, I'm hesitant to say it this way, recap of what we covered, but at the same time, it's not really a recap, to be honest. We're going to talk about some of the things we covered at ILC, but we're going to present it to you and show you in a way that'll help you actually build your business, to take the information and actually go apply. Is that of interest to anyone in here? Now, we're actually very fortunate to have with us the very special gentleman you heard from earlier. He is kind of the Derek Jeter of TNI, the David Wright of TNI, well, whoever's good on the Knicks. I don't know who they have any good players anymore. No. Whoever that good guy is, he's that guy of TNI, right? And Mr. Jeff Hill, this is his first trip out here to meet all of you in this type of a setting. And so I need you to make sure you represent your market, represent those who couldn't make it here today, represent those, right, who are still stuck on the train, and represent yourselves well with Mr. Jeff Hill, because he's got a great way of delivering this information to you in a way that you'll enjoy from. And then you'll hear a little bit from me a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and get started, all right? You guys ready for that? Yeah. So everyone get up, stand up. One more time to stand up here for a few more minutes, and help me bring to the front Mr. Jeff Hill.
Okay, thank you. Is that way too loud? Or if I just yell at you, can you hear me better? Is this too loud? Okay, good enough. Well, you already had a chance to hear from me a little bit this morning and talk a little bit about our product. And as Kim suggested, the purpose of this afternoon, it's now this afternoon, is to talk just a little bit about what we covered in our ILC. But before we get started, I just want to maybe give a little bit about what happened at ILC, a little bit about who I am, so you get to know me a little bit better, and as we get started. But this is our mission statement. For those people, how many are here for the first time, having a first experience with TNI? We have any guests? We have just a couple that are here. That's great. Welcome. We want you to feel comfortable while you're here. And so, in many respects, I'm going to be talking to you, and my responsibility is to just give you a little bit of a feel for who we are as a company. I smiled as Jeff Broom talked about our founders, and he said, you know what, they're going to tell you they love you, and then and they would if they were here, because they're good guys. But I want you to get a little bit of a feel for who we are as a company, the company behind all of our IPCs here. This is our mission statement. This is why we're in business, to bless the whole earth with the natural goodness of Tahitian Noni as we tell the story of lives transformed. Now, what that means is we believe we have a product that can impact the world. Okay, from a health standpoint, as people share it, it can impact them from a wealth standpoint. But to me, as I look at this phrase that talks about the whole earth, we talk about the whole world, that's a big place. It's a big deal. And so that doesn't resonate to me very well. I love the mission part of it, but where I zero in on, and the reason that I'm here today, the reason that Kim is here today, is not to focus today on the whole world. But it's to focus on your world, okay? Because we know if we can help you transform your world, okay, then the mission of transforming the whole earth can really become something real. And so as you hear what is being presented today, as you listen to Jeff talk about the opportunity that's there, we're talking about you. We're talking about you changing your world and how we might be able to help you. Now, wherever I go, it's fun because I feel like we're part of the TNI family. I just got back from China and Asia. I was over there for a couple of weeks. In a couple more weeks, I go to Europe. But wherever I've gone, it's fun because you feel like you're part of the TNI family. There's this bond, there's this piece that comes together. And I think that's what the founders feel and why they always say, I love you, because you're part of the TNI family. And I have a family. And I just want to introduce them to you real quickly. Now, I have 7 children, and some of you have heard me describe this, but as you can see, I describe them as they're all boys except 6 girls. Okay, all boys except 6 girls. And sometimes people will say to me, you can't have kids that are that good looking. Okay, so what I did today is I actually brought one of them with me just to prove that they're mine. And I didn't just pick her up off the street. This is my daughter, Erin. Okay, and she's the one that's up in the upper left-hand corner, and she just happens to be my favorite. Okay, and I'm actually going to share a little experience we had as I close some thoughts out today. Erin, every time I think about Erin, I bawl. Erin is one of my heroes, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. But this is the reason why I've got such good-looking kids, is because of my sweetheart, Joette. So when I leave from home, that's my wife, Joette, and that's my family, and I'm awfully proud of them. I'm going to move quickly because Jeff touched on some of the pieces that we introduced at this ILC, and so I don't want to be redundant. But one of the great blessings for me in working at T&I is our corporate headquarters. It's so funny as I listen to people talking about, they're having to take the train over to Manhattan, and there's a crash, and it takes 40 minutes or 50 minutes or something like that. I literally live 5 minutes on a bad day from the office. Okay, I could walk there in 5 minutes. If I hit the 2 lights that I come up to wrong, it infuriates me. I get impatient and road rage sets in for me because it's going to take me like 2 minutes longer to get to work in my 5-minute commute. And for those that have been there, how many of you have been to these corporate offices before? Many of you. For those that have been there, you know that behind these buildings that we have a beautiful garden. It's called the Tahitian Noni Gardens, and there's a waterfall and there's ponds, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just a wonderful place to work. And if you were to take these buildings and if you were to look out this way, you'd see that there is mountains, the Wasatch Mountains. And this time of the year, they're absolutely breathtaking because they're just covered, the tops are just capped with snow, and they're set against this blue sky. And so every day, I'm actually just on this side of the building, and as I look out, I look at this Mount Timpanogos, and it's absolutely breathtaking.